Typically on Deadliest Warrior, we look at warriors that actually existed throughout history but never met on the battlefield till we put them in our sim. But for the first time on Deadliest Warrior, we've got two warriors that could carry out this battle right now. The North Korean Special Operations Forces versus the U.S. Army Rangers.
This is an incredible matchup. The North Korean Special Operations Forces keeps challenging South Korea and the United States. It could lead to a war with the North Koreans. It could actually lead to World War III. The North Korean Special Operations Forces, these are the very best of the very best that they have in North Korea because they are extremists, they are fanatical in their behavior, they are very dangerous. This could actually happen.
North Korean Special Operations Forces, the SOF, extremist super commandos, poised to launch a communist invasion of South Korea. The fierce and fanatical North Korean Special Operations Forces, the SOF, who spearhead the military of the world's most dangerous rogue nation.
The North Korean Special Op Forces, he's 5'6", 3 inches shorter. He's a little older, 27. They're usually about 135 pounds. So about 40 pounds difference. That's going to be a factor if it comes down to hand-to-hand.
But with the North Korean Special Operations Force, they are taken out of orphanages sometimes at 2 years old and indoctrinated into the program. They're tough, they're hard, they're willing to put down their lives for a unified Korea.
You're absolutely right, Mac. And because these guys operate in smaller units behind enemy lines, they keep mobile. And when you're mobile, you got to carry light handheld weapons. So we're going to test their go-to weapons: sniper rifles, assault rifles, and anti-personnel mines.
Charles Joe, this Korean-born SWAT team commander, is an expert in the small unit tactics used by the SOF.
The North Korean Special Forces, they've got the discipline, they've got the training, and you can't negate the fact that they are on their home peninsula.
Providing first-hand experience of the Communist Commandos' tactics is SWAT team member Chi Jae Kim. A former South Korean Marine, Kim spent 3 years under the constant threat of invasion by his radical neighbors to the north.
It was drilled into our heads that the North Korean Special Forces are very well trained and they're very disciplined. Their loyalty is to the extreme.
Providing intelligence on these fearless soldiers, Tom Ricks, a former U.S. Army officer who gathered intel on the SOF while stationed in South Korea.
They are the most fearless, brutal, and fanatical soldier out there. The whole purpose of the North Korean Special Forces is to really deliver that death blow, that decapitation to the South Korean government and military.
In 1953, at the end of the Korean War, the Korean peninsula was split into communist North Korea and democratic South Korea.
The North Koreans, they've always wanted unification, but they want it under the iron fist of their ruler and their regime and their ways.
To achieve this goal, North Korea's maniacal leader, Kim Il-sung, formed the Special Operations Forces in the late 1960s. Today, the SOF has grown to over 200,000 troops, fanatical and ready to fight.
They have conducted numerous infiltrations into the South for the purpose of reconnaissance, intelligence gathering information to create a massive surprise attack on the South by sea, land, and air. The objective is to sneak in to take out the airfields, key nodes of transportation, communication, wreaking havoc on the South Korean and the American military.
For the past 6 decades, the United States has stationed thousands of troops in South Korea to protect its important economic and strategic ally. Any attack by the North would be considered an act of war, and the U.S. military would respond with swift and decisive force.
This could ignite a geopolitical firestorm that is going to engulf not only the whole east of Asia, but draw the entire world into it. The North Korean regime, they are not afraid to use nuclear weapons that they may be stockpiling and will not hesitate to kill anyone within their pathway.